Welcome back to language hacking, and tonight it's language hacking in the car because I'm trying to I'm trying to be creative and find new ways to record these videos for my channel. And I do end up taking my kids to swimming twice a week, and I sit in the car waiting on them to come out. And so I just thought, well, I'll give it a try and see if I can record in the car. And so tonight I thought I would work on this issue that a limp fard Ali, probably Ali, I'm probably saying that wrong. Um, let's see, Ali MP. Oh, that makes sense. I've always said a limp fard, but it's Ali MP, and then I don't know what the fart is. Anyway, sorry, sorry, Ali. So Ali had posted this issue about brake not working properly, and I don't know what it's going to take to fix this, but I thought I could give it a shot and see where we end up. So Ali was kind enough to give us a failing test, and so we can just use that. So Natalie, well, I got to get back on master here, make sure I'm pulled all the latest stuff, and we'll just run a make clean test. Well, I didn't need to run test, but that's okay. While that's running, let's open up. Let's see. What do we want to do? Test Natalie. I think we want to create. No, we should already have a brake test. Yeah, we already have a brake test. So what if I just paste this here and rename this brake in each returns yielded value. Is that right? Is that what it's doing? So it should be returning 1. It should be returning 1, but we're returning, I think we're returning 1, 2, 3. Or we're printing 1, 2, 3. Maybe that's it. Well, before I rename it, let's just run it and see what happens. So this needs to be in a test. It breaks from each properly. I don't know. Well, cannot type tonight. Well, what else is new? And that's going to print something. I need to capture that, don't I? I need to capture, let's see, results. We'll do results, Y, yield Y, result Y. What does that give us? P results. Okay, what does that give us in Ruby? Okay, that's running, that's fine. Ruby test Natalie brake test. It returns an array with a 1 in it, and if we do it in Natalie, we get a 1, 2, and a 3. Now I get to figure out why exactly. So we'll do this. Result should equal 1. So we have a failing test in Natalie and passing test in Ruby. Okay. Break in each just returns. Let's just do that. Break in each returns. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ali, for this test case. So, it might be handy, now that I've done all that, to actually just do all that in its own file and then see what is actually getting compiled into C++. So I would do bin Natalie wat. Yeah, actually, and then -d will print out the C++ that gets compiled. There's not a lot here. There is a block here, a block here. Let me look at that code again. So this is a block and this is a block. So this, okay, this is the top one. The yield turns into this. These are the two print statements. This block down here does basically nothing. All it does is adds a break flag to our value, and in this case our value is a nil because we did break with nothing, which is an implied nil. So it's essentially that. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So when we add, so the way break works in Natalie is not the same way that Ruby, Matz's Ruby interpreter does it. Matz's Ruby interpreter has a VM, and they can manipulate the stack directly. At least I think that's how they do break. And we don't want to mess with the stack in C++. So what we do is we have flags on values, and one of them is a break flag. We set it on the value. We return it from our block, which is a function. And then the calling, so this is essentially a block calling a block. Nat run block from environment. I actually forgot how that works. Macros. Nat run block from env. When do we decide to use that? Process yield. Okay, so what it does is it looks up the environment hierarchy until it finds a block. And then if it can, it raises a local jump error. And then it does nat run block and possibly break. So I think what is supposed to happen is this. Just before I say this wrong. Yeah, so if break is called in a block, you should break out of the block that called it. So not only are we breaking out, so like if there was extra code here, never reached. If there was extra code here, this would never run in Ruby because of this break statement. But I guess what we're learning here is that the break propagates up. So I'm really curious if, I don't know, Z. How far up does it go? Does it go... Oh, let's do this twice. PZ. I should probably make this a different number so I can tell what's happening. Okay. 101 break. Is that a little bit surprising? That break propagates up through all of the blocks? That's a little surprising. Why does Ruby work like that? Guess I don't need my seatbelt. That's a little surprising to me. I didn't realize Ruby works like that. So let's see, if I break here, 100, 200. Whoa, wild. So this one works the way I thought everything worked. But if I put the yield back, whoa. Someone explain this to me. Because it's a... That just doesn't make sense. Why does this break propagate up through all of the... I mean, I could just do this all day, right? I could do 1,000, 2,000, and we'll make this a A. PA. It just keeps propagating up. But if I do a break here, it doesn't propagate up. It stops at this boundary. What's the difference? That is wild. Let me make sure I'm recording. Yeah, it seems to be. Interesting. I'm just going to do some Googling. Ruby, oops, I don't know how to use this browser. Ruby break propagation. Propagation? How do you spell that? Break and next statement. How to break from nested loops in Ruby. Catch and throw. Yeah, I knew about that. There's no built-in way to break out of containing blocks without their consent. You'll just have to do something like... Yeah, that's what I thought. That's wild though. Why? So there's something about this boundary, this method boundary. It knows this block came from this top level environment, so it will break all the way up to that. Whoa. Mind blown. Because this block is passed in. I don't know how I'm going to implement that. That's going to be a challenge. Okay, let's go look at some source code. Macros. So nat run, block, and possibly break. This is what does the work. It runs the function for the block, and if it checks if it has a break flag, and if it does, it removes the break flag and it returns the result. But in this case, is there an implied break here and then an implied break here? Interesting. Actually, would that code fix my implementation? 1101 break, and Nelly what? 1101 break, 2 break, 3 break. Why? Yeah, my break is totally messed up. Totally. I may have to rethink that quite a bit. So, sorry, I'm silent. I think the key might be this nat run block from environment. We went up the chain. When I did yield here, I had to go past this environment, past this environment, past this environment, all the way up to here, to this parent, this like great grandparent environment to find the block to run. So I think that therein lies the key, the information I need. This is where we're breaking from. This is where we're going to return from. But I don't know. Oh, interesting. What if we compared the environment? Let's do this. Printf. And yeah, I still use printf even though it's C++. Don't judge me. Printf environment equals and I mean the block block the block has an environment, but it's a copy, it's not a pointer. Okay, let's do this. So printf env with block is something. That's the pointer. I want to see what this sorry. Words. Okay, gotcha. So let's do the env is this. Env outer, just make sure I'm doing that right. Env outer, yeah. Env outer equals this. And let's do outer again. And just for good measure, outer. Yeah, debugger would probably be helpful here. I'm going to run make. And then yeah, I was expecting to see this. Oh, no, this one. 938. There it is. So it is. It's 3 levels up. The great-grandparent, like father, grandfather, great-grandfather. Yeah, so, oops. My mic setup is a little precarious. Fascinating. So I guess I want to I don't want to remove the break flag until the environment is the environment where the block came from. And how can I do that? How can I make that happen? Almost like I need a new macro where I pass in. Let's just do that. Let's just nat random block and propagate. Is it Propagate? I always like to spell words right. Okay, it is with an A. Propagate. Break. And then EMV with block. This is a little messy. If it... No! Come back on. Why? There we go. If it has a break flag, and say if the current environment is the same as the ENV that had the block, then, and only then, may you stop. Then and only then can you remove the break flag. Otherwise, you're going to leave it on there and you return it, and that should make it propagate up. I don't know. Propagate break. Oops. And then I'm going to say ENV with block. That's fine. I'll just leave that like it is. Make. And let's just put this kind of back like it was. I think I have it in my clipboard here. So that's the normal one, and that just prints a 1, right? Ben, Natalie, Watt. Oh, that fixed it. Okay. But Ruby test, Natalie break test. Okay, oh, right, wrong Ruby. Let's run it without Ruby. Break test. Oh, we did it. Okay. You ever surprised when something works? And you wonder why it wasn't so obvious? Like, why did I have to rack my brain to come up with that? But, yeah, I think that's good. Let's just see if all the tests pass. I don't know why I'm doing a clean. I don't have to, but always just like to make sure. Been bit by that before. Okay, so let's run all the tests and make sure I didn't break something else in the process. But so far so good. And the S just means skip test, so that's fine. Nat run block and propagate break. So it's going to propagate the break up to the environment where that was found. So while those tests are running, is this still in use? Yeah. I may have to use this version of it in more places, and this may go away entirely. And I may work on that off video. But yeah, so far so good. Cool. All the tests are passing. That's pretty cool. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let's go ahead and commit this. Don't need the WAT. Yeah. You know, let's reword that now that I kind of understand what's happening. Breaks, let's see, propagates the break, the break to the EMV where it was passed. And we're going to rename this to break propagates. Yeah, I like that. And let's just do stage that. Yep. Cool. So propagate break up to where block was up to EMV where block was passed. Is that what I said down here? Oh, let's just, what I meant to say was something else. Break to the MV where the block was passed. Yeah. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, and let's give it a push. Oh, I know what I wanted to do too. I wanted to say fixes number. What number was that? 23. Sweet. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me in the car tonight, getting some stuff done. Let me know what you think about the format, if this works in the car. I know it's not great lighting or great sound, but if it allows me to do more videos in a week on a more regular basis, then hopefully it's a good thing. And I want to be able to share what this is like, doing programming on a programming language with no experience or know-how whatsoever, other than just brute force and banging my head on the keyboard. And I want to thank you all for your support. People like Ali coming along and saying, hey, let me help out. And speaking of that, Ali did some work recently. Thank you very much, Ali. Let's see, did some work on enumerable, which was great. And yeah, so if you want to help out, we've got some issues and some good first issues. If you want to just write Ruby, you don't have to write C++, and you can help make this a real Ruby implementation. So again, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time.